All right, we're riding high. It's late at night. We're still filming because we are pumped. The Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20. And Chris, there was something very different about this team that was missing from last year's team. And now that we have it, life is good. Tell us what that is.
Well, in general, we have better players, some newcomers, free agencies, but these rookies, first game of the year, you're a rookie number one, but it's your first game at Arrowhead. So it's like, all right, we'll find out. I mean, if these guys even really play. So you got our 4 rookies that we'll talk about. These guys just showed up that I couldn't believe it. So I'll throw it over to you. How about we'll start with, we got our 4 rookies. We'll start with LaPorta. What did you see? Just kind of initial thoughts on LaPorta and what he did? And we'll get to the other 3 here in a second.
Absolutely. So here's what your hope is with LaPorta. What your hope is that he can, day one as a rookie, and this is a lot to ask, he can be what Hockenson was and a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And he was. So that was kind of unique. But here's what I'll start with LaPorta. I'll even start before the game. My league of record, fantasy football, I picked him. I had Mark Andrews. I traded away Mark Andrews to get LaPorta because I had so much faith in this guy. Don't worry, I didn't trade Andrews for LaPorta. I'm not an idiot. I got Olave too. I already had drafted LaPorta. So he comes out. He gets 5 grabs, right? Do you know how many targets he had?
No.
5. So he gets 5 catches on 5 targets, 39 yards, nothing to write home about. Like, it's not a ridiculous amount of yardage, right? But he caught everything that went to him. He did the right things. I didn't see him make any glaring mistakes. There wasn't a weird communication error with Goff where he zigged where Goff wanted him to zag. He read the zone. He beat man. I also saw him get a couple of good blocks. I even remember one time during the game you calling out, good block by LaPorta. It was on Gibbs' 18-yard run on 1st and 15. So, yeah, I thought LaPorta was great. Am I wrong here?
No, you nailed it. He needs to, just wonder, does he look the part? He looks big, fast, strong.
He looks the part.
How about Brian Branch for you?
Okay. So, and then I'll ask you for a couple, but Brian Branch, here's how I know I love Brian Branch already. When he got attended to by the training staff because something was going on with his calf, either a calf strain or a cramp. What did we do? We freaked out.
I was very scared.
I need him to be okay. And he came back and he played. He gets a pick 6. I didn't see him get beat. I didn't see a catch where he's trailing in coverage. So he played well against the run. He played well against the pass, and he just belonged. Yes. I mean, like, he was great. Pick 6. What do you want me to say?
Yeah. And the fact that he just didn't really come off the field shows you, okay. And he was out there with the starters, and he is such a difference maker. And again, it's game 1 of his first NFL game and biggest spot, and just looks the part and looks comfortable, and he's just going to play. And he looks day 1. These guys are right in there, fitting in better than what we've had in the last 3 years.
Day 1.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that nuts? I mean, remember, like, first 2 weeks in training camp, we're like, oh, everybody's saying Branch looks good. Branch looks good. We're watching him defend when we have joint practice with the Giants, and he's step for step with like their best players. And like, they're not losing anything. He's step for step with JMO, with St. Brown. We're like, this guy could be something real. And everybody's saying, well, he's not going to play a lot, but he won't start, but he'll find his way into the field a lot, is what all the beat writers are saying. And then all of a sudden, like within a day, it was like, he's our starting nickel, and CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to be playing full-time safety.
Yep.
And you're like, thank you.
Dude, thank you. It's unbelievable. And I love it. So yeah, Branch is going to be perfect. And then what about linebacker, Jack Campbell?
Yeah. Jack Campbell didn't play as much, right?
Nope.
But he did play enough. They're moving him. They're getting him into it. He made a phenomenal play in pass coverage.
Yes.
And that was, correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris, but that was the first down play. He was in zone coverage, and he read Mahomes' eyes, made a diving knockdown or bat away of the pass, and that set up the pick 6. for Branch.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff you want to see out of him, to have the awareness to drop back, almost Tampa 2 type look, because he was back about 10, 15 yards.
Yes.
And make that play.
And
it's huge.
It's just, and I mean, that's the stuff that we drafted him for. And and again, to show me that two things, like he didn't play right away, because I think we were just like, all right, let's not get him like picked on a wheel route and they take it.
Yeah. You were surprised by that.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, why is Barnes in the game?
Yeah. Like, but then it got settled in, and then Barnes kind of disappears. Rodriguez was in there a little bit, but then Jack Campbell, it seemed like, and you got to go back and watch it, but it felt like in pivotal moments, he's in, and it's like, these guys just look the part in their first game. They're already better than what we've had these last 3 years under Dan Campbell. We just keep finding these guys, man.
Speaking of looking the part, talk to me, Goose. Jahmyr Gibbs. What do you got?
Jahmyr Gibbs is everything we had hoped and thought, and can't wait for him to put it together. DeAndre Swift, where it's like, oh, this is the year Swift is gonna, and it never looked like we just saw with Gibbs. Same with Amir Abdullah. I mean, I love that, because Abdullah was tripping over himself. He couldn't figure it out. He's too small, and Gibbs is just strong, fast, and he would have had that touchdown, trips over himself, and that's what made us think of Abdullah. But yes, Jahmyr Gibbs, what a star we might have. And again, it goes back to the players. If you've got players, you can make plays. It's just a difference. And this guy, you give him the ball, it's only a matter of time. Like, I haven't seen a running back, especially a running back, where it's like, he might break. That is that difference that we just haven't had in a long time.
And we wanted Swift to be that difference.
Yes.
But 1st and 15, you give him the ball, he gets 18 yards, and he doesn't twice. There were 2 runs where he broke multiple tackles. And what it was amazing to me is a guy who weighs 200 pounds, he might be up to a little over 200 now. For him to bounce off tackles like that was pretty remarkable to me. And he made people miss by just flat out making a miss. I did not see the run power to the outside. I did not think that was going to be a thing. And he showed that it's hard to wrap him up. It's hard to tackle him. But they also did a good job of keeping him to the outside. So he was going against linebackers and corners rather than D linemen. So it was good coaching. Ben Johnson put him in good spots.
Yes. And no, there was some more power there than I thought, and just that burst where he did a couple times too. He, instead of, and this is what Swift, my criticism of him was like, it's 2nd and 10, and he has a chance to get the first down, right? And it's like, now he got 8 yards, and it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and you just put yourself in. Yeah, it's just little difference makers when you have the right players is huge.
Yeah. And I will say this too, Montgomery 21 carries, Gibbs 7. That will change.
Yes.
It will be 16 and 11 or 12. It'll be 16 and 12. It'll be 15 and 12. It's going to become more even, because you don't want David Montgomery carrying the ball 300. My goodness, a lot. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
It's like at this rate, you don't want him carrying the ball 357 times, I think is my math. So that won't continue. But I understand bringing Gibbs along slowly. Maybe he needs some work in pass pro, but they played him just enough for him to make some huge plays.
Yeah, I love it.
Rookies are great. For game 1, for the first eye test for us to really watch them, I don't think the rookies could have been better. I could not have asked for more, honest to goodness.
Not at all.
They look like seasoned vets.
It's incredible. Yep. You take it so for granted. You just expect, you want rookies to be, just come. It's not that easy. And
it's not that easy.
Look easy.
Brad Holmes, thank you. And thank all of you for watching this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like it and leave a comment. Who is your favorite rookie? Let's talk about it. And we will see you on the next one.
See you.